See if this thing's working. Poor connection, huh? Can you guys hear me okay? Just type something down below. Let me know if you can hear me. What's up? What is up? Am I coming in clear? Does it sound good? All right, word. All right, so let's do this as an AMA. Going to try to wrap with you guys for as long as possible. You can ask me anything in the question box below. What is up? Where's everybody at right now? Just put a little message in there and let me know where you're at in the world. Athens, Greece. Word. Poland. Regina. Detroit. Barrie. North Bay, UK. California. Ukraine. Texas. Bay Area. Damn. Montreal. Houston. All right, world. What is going on? Dublin. Smash that like button. Give it a big smash. Virginia, Montreal, Dallas, what is up? Windsor, St. Louis, Manchester. Cool. How's everybody doing? All right, so throw your questions below, guys. Let me know what's up. What questions you got for me tonight? Mexico. What do you use to keep the wizard beard clean? Just same stuff that I used to use in my hair when I had hair, man. Shampoo and conditioner. And you can either throw some like beard oil in it, which I get from the gentleman's barber shop, or even virgin coconut oil works really well too. Best book to read on relationships, definitely The Rational Male by Rollo Tomasi. There's links for it in a bunch of my videos. I've talked about it quite a bit lately in the last couple months. New York, what's up? LA. What do I think of college? Don't let school get in the way of your education. I've done a video about that in the channel. I've said this before. If you're if you're considering post-secondary education, take a alternative look and maybe consider using the money that you might have used for a few years of college or university and the books, and maybe try to start up a business, because you will learn a hell of a lot. Would I buy a Mercedes? AP says. I like Mercedes. I'm not opposed to them. I just prefer BMWs better. I just think they're balanced a lot nicer. Try to start a matchmaking business. I actually did a video, Carl, I don't know, it was about a year ago. I went through the process of exploring the idea of setting up a online dating app. So you can go check that out. It's on the channel from about a year ago. What do you do for a living besides YouTube videos? Jaja says. YouTube videos do not provide a living, I promise you. It's just a hobby, and it's kind of my way of giving back. I know some people like to, donate blood or go and, do stuff at the animal shelter or whatever. It's kind of my way of giving back to, I guess, the community, so that people can become better versions of themselves. I know the channel's kind of grown and changed a little bit over time, but I guess what I get out of it is all the thanks and gratitude and the comments and the private messages, and the people that I talk to on my coaching calls with clarity also. So that's cool. Jay, what would you suggest to a male who had an effeminate father? I figured a lot of this shit out at 30 years old, but anything you can think of that may be useful would be appreciated. Just consume content that's tied around guys that are strong adult male role models that have strong virtues, and spend time around them. You can find them in different places depending on what your interests are. I was lucky. I grew up in a household with a strong adult male role model. My dad was not a mangina. Some guys have mentioned that the feminized men start to sound like today, but that's just the environment that I was brought up in. So I was grateful for that. First steps to moving out on your own. Matt says that. Just pack your shit and go. Put one foot in front of the other and just walk. You'll figure it out. The dots often just connect themselves. Have you ever experimented with psychedelic drugs? Yes. Mario, what's the most important step to garner momentum when starting a business? Money. Money is the lifeblood of any business. If you don't have cash coming in, you're going to have a hard time growing that business. AT Vapor, buying a vehicle that represents you not to show off, but is part of your character. Yeah, you start to notice that people's cars represent their character a lot. I used to sometimes wonder when I would see somebody driving a nice car and they didn't look like they fit the mold of the car. But a lot of times when you start to kind of like get to know them, it's definitely in their character. JC, thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Best book you've read to reprogram your mindset. Depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about, uh, you know what? I got to do a video in the future on the top 10 books that I've read that have really changed me and opened my mind to different things. So I'll just do a video on that in the future. So just sit tight on that. Um, Sorry, just kind of going through these. Shalom, what's up, Mary? Prince Burley, what do you think about letting my mom choose a wife for me? Are you fucking nuts? Don't do that, man. What's your SIN number? I'm not telling you. Thank you for giving back. Thanks, Carl. Appreciate it. Um, Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. What do you think about motorcycles? I love motorcycles. I used to ride sport bikes for a long time, about 12, 13 years, and I started to have friends that were getting injured or dying. So I just decided that my card was going to come up at some point, and I switched over to driving convertibles, which wasn't quite as fast or fun, but you get the open air feeling. I can figure out everything to accept girls. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading these guys as I'm going through, so just keep punching your messages and smash that like button. I've only got 24 thumbs up. Come on, like seriously, come on. Smash it hard, over and over again. How to make money, you need to focus on everything as well. Seem to, okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Cyberviller, yeah. Okay, Jeremy, how do I avoid setting unreasonable expectations for myself if a relationship? I'm not sure I understand the questions. How do I avoid setting unreasonable expectations? Well, just you got to have some awareness about yourself and who you are and what your value is, and then you set your expectations around that. Bart, what's up? What do you think of BMW M moving away from naturally aspirated engines to turbo? Turbos offer a lot more power. I do love the turbos on the M5, but the one thing that I've noticed is just the sound is not the same. The turbos muffle the exhaust note, so you lose out on that, and you lose out on the intake sounds as well. But overall, it's just the direction we're going, and then we're going to go to hybrids, and then we're going to go to full electric, and that's just where we're going. Any thoughts? Don says, any thoughts of a car meet for the local people? I go to the Engineered Automotive Cars and Coffees in the summertime, so just follow me on Instagram. It's just Entrepreneurs and Cars, and you'll see when I'm going. So just follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll always announce it if I'm going to be going to that Cars and Coffee meet. Uh, Ben says, what is the best system you've incorporated in your business? Lately, it's been automation. Automation, outsourcing, and optimizing a lot of the systems has made a big, big difference for me. Thanks, Christopher. Appreciate it. Thanks, Cole. Appreciate it. How would you beef up college? What do you mean beef up college? I'm not sure I understand that question. Would you ever buy an older BMW car? I'd love an E46 M3, but I don't think they're worth $65,000 American that they're selling them for now. Yes, Sonny, my mom's still alive. Carl, how do you get along with other alpha females? Some of them have a lot of masculine energy. I, the interesting thing about being an entrepreneur is anytime you enter a room and there's like 100 people in it, there's probably like 15 to 20% that are women, and a lot of women entrepreneurs tend to adopt a lot of male traits and behavior when it comes to business. I I prefer feminine women. That's just my choice. Prince, how was your experience with psychedelic drugs? Awesome, thank you. Bilal, should I start an Amazon business? I don't have any experience in Amazon, Bilal, so I really can't comment. GTR for sure. Lon. Christopher, can you do a video on real estate in the GTA? Thoughts on the market? I can just quickly say that the market's it's just going to keep going up for at least another year or two, maybe even longer. I suspect it's probably going to have a lot to do with what happens with Trump in the U.S. Because immigration policies are just scaring some people off, and people want to move to North America. It's just a better place to live. So you probably see a lot of immigration traffic kind of move into Canada, and Vancouver and Toronto are the two biggest markets. Thoughts on military? When I was younger, I wanted to join the Royal Air Force and fly Harrier jump jets because it was just after the time the Falkland War was over, and that was the first real televised war that I saw. So that's something I really want to do, but I found out that I was too tall for the cockpit, so I just kind of went another direction. But I definitely encourage somebody to join the military if it's in their cards. What's up, Brazil? Sugar Kush, Cadillac, CTS thoughts. Never driven one, but if you're in the GTA, message me. I'm happy to drive it. James, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Nice beard, thank you. Do women for the older generation, 67, still exist in the world today? Do women for the older? I'm not sure I understand that question. If you can clarify. I don't like having debt. Is it necessary to have a credit score? No, you don't need to have debt to have a good credit score. Go check out my business channel, Total Debt Freedom. I got lots of videos on there about credit and debt and stuff like that. It's just on YouTube. You can just search for it. Sorry, just scrolling through these. Are franchises a good place to start a business for somebody? No, I don't like the franchise business model, Walt, because there's too many confines. You're restricted with how you can market, territories, the messaging you can use. You've got royalties that have to go. It's the same thing with multi-level marketing or anything else that's kind of tied around that model. I think a true entrepreneur is at the wheel of their own business, and they just push forward. They just put their head down and push forward, and they run the entire show. Ruben says, what do you think about focusing on building ourselves in different aspects instead of focusing on finding the right woman to marry? I did a video on this the other day that goes live, I think either tomorrow or Thursday, but basically in your 20s, you don't want to waste your time in LTRs and long-term relationships. You want to focus on building yourself, developing your intuition and everything. So just wait for that video to come out. Craig, are millennial women worth dating? I haven't had a lot of good experiences with millennial women, but not to say they're all bad. Like there's a lot of them that have some self-awareness, but there's definitely a sense of entitlement with quite a few millennials. It's just how they were raised in households and all that stuff. Mike, do you know a good family lawyer? Yeah. Search for just let me know where you live, Mike. Just put another message in there, and I'll let you know if you're in the GTA. How do I stop caring what people think? That takes a lot of practice. You're just going to have to develop a thicker skin. Just watch a bunch of my videos, and you'll start to see general themes. But you just have to adopt a policy of giving fewer fucks about what people think. A&O, how's your relationship with your ex? Well, my ex-wife, great now. It was difficult when we first got divorced, but things are a lot better. James, no, I'm not gay. Waleed, is that Christmas beard? No. What do you do when you get frustrated? When I was younger, I used to ride my motorcycle really fast, but now I just, nothing really bothers me anymore. I guess as you get older, you just start to run out of fucks to give on things that don't matter. It's a skill that you just kind of develop and learn over time. It's almost like a muscle, and when you use it and you develop it and you practice it, it gets stronger and better when you're exercising it. When you atrophy, when you don't use thoughts, muscles, skills, then they just fall apart and you get frustrated, you get upset. What would you recommend? Well, Lisa says, what would you recommend for young guys 18 to 23 going through school and want to expand into entrepreneurship? Just do it. Stop. Like, the problem with most young entrepreneurs that I find is they spend way too much time procrastinating, planning, thinking about stuff. Just, are people going to give you money for your idea? Are people going to pay you for your service or your product? If they are willing to do that, then build off that. But you need oxygen in the lungs to breathe, just like a business needs money in the bank account. Slow F10. Is there even such a thing as a slow F10? Your videos give me a lot of insight. I watch them every night. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Patricia, thoughts on downsizing after a death in the family? I prefer a minimalist lifestyle. Although I do maximize on horsepower, that's just kind of, it's my dichotomy, whatever. But yeah, it certainly makes things easier. Dwayne, how did it take to grow the beard? I've been growing mine for 3 months now. I think, well, you can watch the videos because, I do one almost weekly, and I think it's probably November, December since I started kind of growing a bit longer. How do you feel about trading, investing, Forex? Don't know much about it. Sorry, man. Can I do a performance build with 250,000 mile bottom without camming much? Not sure what you mean, dude. I'm not a motor builder. Can't help you with that one. Adrian, I know you prefer to work once and then get paid dividends from it. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly it. Subscription-based businesses are by far the best that you can own and run because you work for, if you work for 1 hour and you get paid for several hours, that's the way to go. No, Trevor, I'll pass. Thanks, but no thanks. Thank you for the content. Keep up the great work. Thanks, brother Ben. Best systems I've incorporated, email marketing. I've been very slow to adopt email marketing. Actually, while I'm on the topic, I've been super slow to adopt email marketing in my business. I'm just going to put this down for a second because I want to show you where to opt into my list. Let's see here. How do I switch this camera around? This right here on the channel is my active campaign link. So please go and opt into the list if you're interested in stuff that I'm going to be putting out in the future. But yeah, email marketing is not something that I've ever used in the past. I didn't know how to use it, and I just figured it out in the last 3 to 4 months, and it's by far been the most useful tool to automate systems in my business. So I'm going to start building out the Entrepreneurs in Cars website at some point. So get on the list if you're interested in stuff we'll be doing in the future. There's a video coming out in a few days, but I'll be offering masterminds, mastermind retreats, and a few other things. So I won't spam you because I only send shit if it's really important. Adrian, I have that option monetize blog, but I can't make a lot more money rendering. Okay, sorry guys, I'm just starting to read some of these out. Thanks, appreciate it, Brad. Yo, what's up, new subscriber, Louis? What is the most mainly thing? I'm not sure if you mean mainly or manly. Just type that out again. How do you stop trying to save people unconsciously, trying to help or fix people's problems as an entrepreneur? Yeah, there's only so much, there's only so many hours you have in the day, Salvador, that you can use for stuff. Like, we've got a limited amount of time on this earth. So you just have to be aware of your skills and your timeline and allocate those resources efficiently. I mean, we've got resources for time, we've got resources for money and experiences and people and stuff like that. So you just have to be aware of your own value. Hit that like button, smash the like button. Thanks, Chris. Smash it. Thanks, Trevor. I appreciate that. Yes, I am ugly. David, how old is too old to live with your parents? I don't know. I mean, not really. I guess I moved out when I was around 22, 3 or so. Any gym workout goals you're working on? Yeah, I want to do the human flag, Dave. I've tried it a few times, but I got to work on my back and shoulders a little bit more. Alec, hey Dave, what's up? Sorry, man, Dave H. I've seen you in the comments for a while. Appreciate you signing on. Alec, are you MGTOW, and what are your thoughts on it? No, I'm not. I think that I get why guys do it. I don't subscribe to the thinking simply because, we live in a world of yin and yang, and life travels in ebbs and flows and seasons and stuff. And, sometimes you're going to be disappointed, but, men and women are really designed to kind of complement each other. It's just that guys make some really, really bad decisions and choices when it comes to relationships. So that's a lot of the stuff that I point to. Somebody asked me earlier today about that. And, they called me sexist. And I was like, what I do is I basically point to the facts and then I just connect the dots. And that pisses some people off. How's the dating scene in your 40s? It's fine, man. As long as you're healthy, fit, and you've got money and your life together, it's not a problem. How do you view Trump in Canada? Let him do his thing, man. We'll see what happens. Trevor, you're fat. Ugly. Thanks, Trevor. I appreciate it. How do you feel about the educational system? I don't like it. I think it's designed to teach girls, not boys, so I didn't do well in it. But yeah, how's the M5 going? It's nice, man. I actually did a bit of an update on the M5. You should see it out in about a week or so. There's a few things that I don't like about it, but just yeah, just wait for that video to come out in your subscription feed. Brazil, yeah. I have watched. You know what, Trevor? Can I get you to shut the fuck up because you're acting like a dick. How do you block this? Ah, whatever. Oh, there we go. Remove. I have watched many of your videos, and I question: you would give such great, you would, yeah. Thanks, Rui. Appreciate that. Um, yeah, I guess my legacy is how are people going to remember me when I'm gone, sort of thing. And I guess the cool thing about YouTube is I'm guessing it's going to be around for a while. So every piece of video content that I put out, I generally think of it as a evergreen piece that will be useful to somebody 10, 15, 50 years from now. So cool. Oh, you're getting muted too, buddy. Don't start posting, links to ads and things in my live. Dan, tell us more about the machine used for your back to go upside down. It's just called a inversion table, and it's good for your back. You can Google it, and the light is it's called the Joovv, JOOVV.com is where you can buy it, and it's an infrared light. I'm going to be doing a video in the next couple of weeks with Ben Greenfield, who knows way more about boosting testosterone and sex and boner pills and all that stuff. So we'll be diving into a deep conversation. So just wait for that to come out. We'll talk more about that stuff and why it's important. Um, Here's a question. Yeah, a friend of mine met someone a year ago and is now in massive debt. On top of that, he quit his full-time job and went back to school. Is there any way I can help him? Why do you need to help him? Yeah, why don't you let him take ownership for his own life and let him figure it out? Offer him some tips and be a good friend, but stop trying to save people. Uh, Tell us why you use the inverter machine. Well, it's good for your back. You wake up in the morning and it aligns your spine so you don't have back problems. I'm pretty tall. I'm almost 6'3", so I've had back problems in my life, and since I got the inversion table, I haven't. And the infrared light it deals with seasonal affective disorders, so like the winter blues that people get. It boosts testosterone, and it also helps with conditioning of your skin too. So it's good all the way around. Uh, what job do you have? Watch my channel. I covered in there. How do you deal with your scar and how people at the gym, beach, or pool give you a look? You know what? It doesn't bother me anymore. It doesn't bother me anymore. I, I walk around with, my shirt off all the time on the beach and pool, whatever. How you finding the low U.S. dollar Canadian rate? It sucks if you want to buy a nice car in the U.S. I mean, the last car I bought was 2010 from California, the M3, but it doesn't make any shape. How important is it to be in shape? I think it's very important. I think self-care is probably one of the most important things you can do for yourself. Uh, do, 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 do. Best tasting food, sushi. What's up, Brazil? What's your favorite city in the world for entrepreneurship? Women, cars, gyms, and what else do you like in a city? Um, what's my favorite city in the world? Probably, I really like California, but there's really a hell of a lot of people there. And I'm not a big fan of the, really left mentality. I kind of sit in the middle with my belief system. What do you think of the Audi TT? Patricia, I think it's a girl's car if I'm being honest, but maybe you'd look good in it. Marcus, thoughts on the Alfa Romeo Giulia? First of all, it's a weird name. If you can't pronounce it, it's a dumbass name. But Jeremy Clarkson swears that to be a proper petrolhead, you need to have an Alfa. Uh, Tim Hortons or Starbucks. For coffee, I like McDonald's actually, to be honest with you. Here's a cool question. Frank says, what would you do with your time and what would you pursue if you never had to worry about money again? I'd probably do something more in motorsports like racing. I love off-road racing, Baja 1000 type racing. Anything with a car going fast is just fun for me. So that's probably what I would be doing with time. Jared says, "How often you respond to your Twitter?" I don't do Twitter. All my social accounts kind of link to Twitter, so if you're on it, you'll see the stuff. And I'm trying to do these YouTube lives at least once every month, maybe twice a month. So just yeah, make sure you've got your notifications on. Steve says, "I've been turning people onto your channel, and they all get back with sincere thanks." Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Even chicks I know can't help but to admit that what you say is true. There's going to be some triggered women in a couple weeks when a video comes out that I just did this weekend. I'm kind of responding to some of their behavior and pointing to some facts and connecting dots. So just stay tuned for that. Do you brush the beard? Yes, you must brush the beard. You know what women with dad's issues is choose kind of immature. Yeah. What are your views on men in their 40s dating women under 30? Do you feel it's too great of an age gap? It depends. I mean, if you've got a woman under 30 that's kind of an old soul, it can work, but it's a bit of a stretch. It's a bit of a stretch. You can have some fun, but it is a bit of a stretch for a long-term thing. Clifford, 28-year-old realtor and MD, slow quarters so far. Not sure what the question is there. John says, how do you handle annoying people? You just don't. Why would you give them your time? Why would you give them your attention? You just don't. Would you ever shave that beard? Yes, I will. What up, Will? Are you working on any startup ventures? Yeah, I've got a few things on the go right now. Scott, divorce. What was your sole reason your marriage didn't work out, and would you do it again? I'm not going to get into any details, but it's really just a fit issue. It's just, sometimes what ends up happening is you start to learn about each other as time passes, and as you see in the divorce video, people's behavior changes. So it was just a fit issue. We'll just keep it at that. John says, what helped you stay focused and positive in life while dealing with custody drama and seamless? It was hard, man. It was honestly the only time in life that I'd ever considered or contemplated suicide was being separated. You just have to focus on yourself and your passions. Put a lot of effort in self-care. Exercise will help deal with stress. Just keep pushing forward because there's a big bright light at the end of the tunnel. How do you stay healthy? That's a pretty broad question. Ask me something detailed on that one. Thank you, appreciate it. John, no, I try to avoid drinking alcohol. I've kind of been off it for about 5 or 6 months, but every once in a while I will dive in from time to time. Adrian says, do I still ride? No, I don't have a bike anymore, but I do have my bike license and I do like to ride. Jeremy, how often should I masturbate? As much as you want, brother. By what age do you suggest getting married? I would say not until your 30s. You got to figure yourself out in your 20s. Have a good understanding of yourself, your intuition, your value system. You got to develop yourself before you even think about anything like that. Would you be interested in hosting some? Yeah, Christopher. So like I said, hop on the email list. It's on the right of the YouTube channel. And I definitely will be putting out emails if I'm going to be doing any meetups. But it's probably going to be more like a virtual mastermind because there's so many people around the world. You guys asked some funny questions. Need to up my real estate game. Advice. You got to ask more specific. I'm also a burn victim. ZLP Media. Have you ever considered going to a volunteer where to Camp Courage with burnt children? I would do that actually. So if you have more information, email me at EntrepreneursinCars and I'll donate my time. Jerome, what if I was going to build a new rotary piston engine? I don't know anything about rotaries. Check out Rob Dom. He's a rotary guy. Jared, how often do you do these YouTube lives? No, I don't usually respond to Twitter, but lives will be about once a month. You're welcome, Wael. Any good books about divorce you can recommend? If you're considering it, there's a book called I think it's called "Too Good to Leave and Too Bad to Stay" is the name of the title. So just look that up, and that'll help you evaluate the process. Let's see here. Sorry, just reading. Hey, what's up, Ian? My brother from another mother. Nice to see you. Any tips to maintain, deliver focus? Good videos, man. So weird that I see so many people that I know on here now. To age gaps. What's your MBTI? What's that? Can you spell that out? No, Max, not interested. Anything for teenage entrepreneurs? Uh, Intellium can't help you with Texas. Don't have any connections there. But just you're gonna have to do some research on that. Thanks, Patricia. DeLorean DC-12. I haven't seen that. I'm gonna Google that when I get off this call. Here's a question from Ken. Do you think it's possible to start a side online business while pursuing higher education that are both related? Any thoughts? I'll do a video on that for you guys, actually. Yeah, I can go down that road for you. What was that thing about work for an hour, get paid for 7 hours? It's subscription-based revenue, so working and then getting paid for multiple time after that. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that. What was your gym routine when you started nutrition? How are you progressing? Gym routine from the beginning. It was, I guess I started working out in a class in high school called aerobics and weight training. And I kind of stuck with it because it was something that you could see immediate results. When you're in a classroom and you're studying and you're doing things with schoolwork, you don't always see like immediate results, and you don't always learn something right away. But when you pick up heavy stuff and you put it down, that's how it started for me. And nutrition's always straightforward. It's just, eat quality, healthy, useful food that doesn't come from your freezer or, processed crap. You want to eat quality food. And as you get older, you need to focus more on eating better quality food because your body can't process the shit. I remember when I was in my 20s, I could go to McDonald's after, a workout and get 4 or 5 Big Macs and eat that, and I would grow. Now I would never be able to do that. Um, Sorry, some of these questions are getting repeated, guys, so I'm going to skip them because this is a live broadcast and it'll be recorded on the channel so you can watch it later if you're joining late into it. What's this? Welchship 281. So I'm in a relationship with my girlfriend and she can't come to school or really go on a date because she gets concussions easy. Should I still go out with her or should I just stay? What? You can't go on a date because she gets concussions easily? What is she, made out of butter or crystal or something? Like, I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer that. Um, did you use financing to grow your business? No, Alexander. I bootstrapped it. I like to bootstrap my businesses, but that's just my choice. I don't like to borrow money from people, but I'm also in the debt business. How do I leave my ex-wife? How do I leave my ex-wife? I love my kids. I imagine you've already left, John. But if you want to talk about divorce, separation stuff, book me on Clarity. We can dive into that. Clearly create a brand, sell products. Somebody's asking, Sil17, I'm creating brand selling products, currently doing really well on eBay, and I'm trying to sell more on my website. Do you have any suggestions to bring more customers? Just high quality products, and if you can get influencers on social media to promote it for you, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, anybody with an audience, if you have something that's relevant to their audience, you can put it in front of them and they'll promote it for you, but you're gonna have to compensate them. Uh, Alvin, how can you stop girls from crowding around you all the time? I get that a few times nearly every weekend. Well, lucky you, Alvin. Uh, Got Dave. My ex had all three of the problems with three women not to date. Yeah, you gotta watch out for those ones. How do you keep a positive outlook and stay healthy? Again, you're always going to have setbacks in life. Like I said, it's like a muscle that you have to kind of work. So you just have to keep just have to keep pressing forward and pressing forward. Maybe I'll do a video on that in the future. Do you like the smell of hot dog in water? No, I hate that smell actually. Do you believe in the free market? Yes, I believe in the free market. Everything in the market comes with price and value, and it'll correct itself. When did you hear about MGTOW? Probably in the last, I don't know, 8 to 12 months, maybe, in and around then. Prior to that, I'd never heard it really before. You think a religious girl has any worth? She has a good relationship with her dad. Definitely look for somebody that has a good relationship with her father, especially if you're a strong, virtuous man. It's always a signal that you've got a potentially good partner there to talk to. Is massive debt. Da, da, da. Okay, how do you deal with rejection? Free market, yeah, okay. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to read these. Thanks, Ria, appreciate it. Cork says thoughts on men wearing a non-wedding ring. I don't, the whole wedding ring thing is a pain in the butt. Like I'm not a jewelry guy, and I actually stopped wearing my wedding band shortly after the ceremony because it just annoyed the hell out of my hands with everything I was doing. Uh, what age range of women would you go for at age 70? I guess if I was single at 70, as long as you could possibly get, right? Um, Finance or IT? Depends on what your skill set is. If you're good with money, do finance. Yeah, bullwife. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it's a true story. Share it. Sharing's caring. I lost respect for Ben Greenfield when he started promoting hologram wristbands. I'm not familiar with that, but I did stay at his house a few months ago, so we're going to be doing a deep dive on testosterone and how to keep your testosterone levels high when we hop on that call. Don says, I think you have followed some of Elliot Hulse's work. Do you follow Paul Check? What are your thoughts on his theories? Not familiar with Paul. Have watched some of Elliot Hulse's stuff. He's a pretty awesome guy. How do you find your life purpose? You basically have to focus on your passions and then follow your intuition. I've done some videos on that, so just check them out on the channel. Let's see here. How would you lose 60 pounds? Move more, eat better. Lewis, how can a short guy like me, 5'3", get pussy? I have to rely on a fat wallet and know how to have fun. I did a video, I don't know, it was a couple years ago. It was one of the first ones I did on dating and relationships. A buddy of mine, he's short. He's probably about 5'3". And what he does is he drives for Uber, but he only drives on Fridays and Saturday nights because that's when all the ladies are getting rides back from the nightclubs and bars. So, you're sitting down in a car. He's got a great personality. He's funny, and he does really well that way. Nina, thank you. Appreciate it. What's up, Callie? Yeah, Robert Greene. What is it? The Laws of Power. One of the best books I've definitely read. It's immensely amazing. Any inversion table will do at Vape War. Carl says, "What do you think of feminism and feminist men? Feminism is cancer. That's it." The problem with feminism is it's anti-femininity. It's not pro-women. It's basically anti-women, and I think women are starting to recognize that. John says, when a guy in his 40s dates 20-something, she's often in a different place in life. How can this be best reconciled? Well, if they're a party girl and they're childish, just don't waste your time. It's pretty much as simple as that. What's up, Alabama? Jason, how do you pronounce your name? Richard? Anything for teenage entrepreneurs? How's your beer taken? How is your beer taken by business people out there? Because where I live, it's not considered very business-like. Man, I don't really care what people think, and I'm an entrepreneur, so I don't have to, subscribe or fit to some certain mold. Okay, strategic thinker. What exactly would you do exactly to lose 60 pounds? First thing, you could do is stop eating shit that you get out of your freezer. Eat stuff that comes from the produce section of the grocery store and meat. Also, move more, which means picking up heavy shit and putting it down. So get a gym membership and like just basically bench press, squats, and deadlifts will probably be the best movements you could start with. And just eat good, proper food. Don't eat shit and cut out sugar, and that'll knock off the weight very, very quickly. Yes, I love jet skis, Prince. What do you do in your spare time? When I'm not working or building a business or creating recurring revenue in businesses that I'm project on, or I'm a member of a board on another company, making YouTube videos. I'm obviously a parent. I've got my daughter. I work on self-care, so I'm consuming content and information about becoming a better version of myself, putting out videos for you guys to help you out, stuff like that. So that's and I do a lot of clarity coaching calls for you guys too now. Whenever you want to talk to me. Favorite car? Let me think. A Ferrari F430 16M, which is a convertible version of the Scuderia. I love that car. What was the first car you had? It was a 1979 Honda Civic. Favorite book of all time? The Rational Male, Rollo Tomasi for sure. What's your diet like? Mostly, I'm gonna say a lot of carbs, a lot of meat, and a lot of fats in the right proportions. I don't consume any sugar if I can avoid it. I don't add sugar to anything, so my coffee and stuff like that, and processed foods, I try to stay away from as much as possible. Steve, I'm not a Bible thumper, but just curious, do you believe in God? I think it's pretty hard to believe in some guy floating around in the sky when evolution's basically answered every possible question mankind has had. Just go watch the Joe Rogan stand-up comedy segment on what does he talk about? It's Moses. No, it's not Moses. It's the one with the Ark. So Noah's Ark. Yeah, just watch that segment. Joe Rogan plus Noah's Ark, and then tell me if you still believe in organized religion. Do you think you were given an advantage in the life to where you are? I did not grow up in a well-to-do family. I'm self-made, but I guess I'm lucky in the sense that I grew up in Canada. I was born in England, grew up in Canada for the most part. But there's people that are born in shitty parts of the world that get dealt, a bad geographic hand. But if you can move to North America, then you can change that, or parts of Europe as well, of course. What are your thoughts with EU immigrants? I don't live there, but if you watch, channels that talk about the migrant crisis, it sounds like it's mostly there, right? What do you think about social media marketing in the Canadian market? Well, guys, we're on a live call on a cell phone, so social media marketing does work. How do you tell a woman you want to be FWB? That means friends with benefits, John. So that rarely ever connects for any woman. That's not what they're looking for. Um, Find the courage to drop out of school, pursue some sort of business. How do you find the courage? Just Dan, if you're passionate about what you're trying to build and what you want to pursue, I've said this before. Don't let school get in the way of your education. There's a video on my channel about that. Just go dig it up. E Packard says, "Why does it seem like women are happier and more satisfied with life than men?" It's because we're not making ourselves happy, men. That's why I always talk about being better. Work on yourself. Don't make a woman the focus of your life. Allow them to complement your life, but don't make them the focus of your life. And that's where you run into problems. Yo, what's up, Wavy? Sheen. Okay. Should I get back with my wife if we keep breaking up and getting back together? I think you have the answer to that one, Sean. You know that that's a bad idea. My question is, how cool are you? I'm very cool. So what do you think about the Huracan? I wasn't going to do a video on the Huracan Performante lap just because so many people have covered it. I actually posted the link that I can't remember his name, Mishka, the guy that does the Boosted Boris character. I posted it on the Facebook page, and it looks like that lap is a total hoax. Hi, Julie. How are you? Thanks. Were your parents wealthy? No. Like, I grew up, let me put it to you this way. In our house, we barely had the heat on in the wintertime. And in the summertime, I remember we got a government grant for a air conditioning unit because my mom's got really bad allergies. And we didn't even turn the frickin' thing on. So that's the kind of house that I lived in. And I remember my dad used to bring skids home from work because he worked he worked in marketing in an electronics distribution plant, and the packing skids they would deliver the components in at the back of the warehouse. He used to bring the wood home, and we would break it up in the garage and burn it for heat in the wintertime. So I think it's safe to say no, we didn't grow up wealthy. Do you smoke? No. Viking look with that beard. Thank you. Why do women have so much power and leverage? They don't. You just have to understand that you've got a lot more power than you think when you start to leverage it. Does the Fukushima disaster make you think twice about sushi? No. Current experience. Is your my favorite movie? I like Shawshank Redemption. That's probably one of my favorite movies, I'd say. What is the fastest you've gone in the M5 in Mexico? Of course. Well, this is a recorded video, but I'm not going to say that. Can you kindly expand your video? Sleep nutrition. Yeah, I'll do a video more on that in the future. Mike, family lawyer near Bolton. Don't know one in that area. Sorry, I can't help you. Favorite muscle car? No, I'm not giving you money. What do I think of multi-level marketing? I think it's bullshit. I wouldn't waste any time on it. It's not a real business, and it's just a way to irritate people in your life. Sonny, you have a daughter. Good. You're going to get a real eye opener in your life. Yes. Ish says, I'm curious. Is it a good idea for a guy to date someone who's 7 years older than him? I don't know. Go for it. I don't really have enough information to comment on that one. Women have so much power. Packard. I think you've asked that question about women before. Just watch the way that men have been feminized progressively. I put that out in the last couple of weeks. It's on the channel. You can check that out. It answers that question. How old am I? I'm 43. I'll be 44 this year. Michael says, regarding your alpha traits, I'm a gay guy who likes to be protected. Otherwise, I have all the other alpha traits. Does this make me less of a man? No, alpha's alpha, man. Doesn't matter if you're gay or straight. Alpha's alpha. No, I haven't read Reconnaissance Man by Aaron Cleary. I read Bachelor Economics, which I thought was pretty awesome. Sorry, just reading these lines here. A lot of you guys are asking me some questions that I'm skipping over or require conversation. I have a clarity link on my YouTube channel for a reason. I give out a lot of great information for free, but I only have so much time in my day. So I get probably about a dozen messages or emails a day from you guys asking me to help you with specific questions. If you have a specific question, please book my time for it, and I can dive deep into that. But I will do my best to respond to as many questions here as I can tonight. What was the lowest point in your life? Probably when I was separated and I was driving down the highway in my truck at the time, and I didn't see any light at the end of the tunnel. And I thought to myself, that's it. I'm just going to end it. I'm going to take off my seatbelt, floor it, and drive into a concrete pillar in the freeway overpass and just end it. And I figured I'd go flying through the windshield, but I just kind of pulled through it, man. It was a pretty depressing time being going through a really, really, really bad divorce. But yeah, I made it, and I'm glad I did. Haley says, "What do I think about hockey? Not interested in hockey." Tim says, "Are there any advantages of climbing the corporate ladder versus being an entrepreneur? I'm currently 29 and pulling 200K and not killing myself for it. Wondering if a change is even worth it." You will find starting up your own business incredibly unrewarding for several years and potentially going to fail. Like 9 out of 10 are going to fail. It's not until several years in that you'll probably start to see some serious traction and serious money coming your way. So you've really got to have, you got to be committed. Like you got to play the long game if you want to start up a business. Oh, Carl says MBT. Yeah, I totally subscribe to the Myers-Briggs personality type. Yeah, definitely very useful. What's your main job, or are you full-time YouTube? You can't make a living off of YouTube unless you've got several 100,000 subscribers. It's going to be a while for me to get there. And maybe this might be my full-time job at one point. But yeah, I've got a couple businesses that I run that pay the bills. This is a hobby for me right now that I just keep pushing through on. Why do people keep asking me if I'm gay? If you watch my videos, I think that would answer that question. Ken, what are your experiences with dating girls who have had rough upbringings? Well, you become a product of your environment. So if you have a crappy childhood and you have bad experiences and like the lens in which you view the world and the lens in which you view relationships is distorted and broken, then you're going to be dating somebody that's distorted and broken. It's just going to be a nightmare to deal with. And my experience, Ken, is just not to waste your time. People got to work on themselves and deal with their own shit before they start getting into long-term relationships with people. It's just as straightforward as that. Greg says, how important is it for a man to live on his own and have a good job to start a serious relationship with a girl? I think it's very important. I think you got to understand yourself, have self-awareness, you know, listen to your intuition, learn how to listen to it better, become stronger, physically stronger, strengthen your mind. You know, there's there's different ways to become better, and it's not just physically. It's like generating ideas is a way to strengthen your mind. Coming up with better ideas and becoming a problem solver, somebody that can solve things very, very quickly. Will says, would you date a chick in her 20s? Can you talk about the startups you're working on? Yes, and not really. I'll get into details on the channel publicly when I see the time's right for that. So we know you like cars, but what about motorcycles? I totally dig motorcycles. Hey, what's up, Brazil? You mentioned previously you lived in the UK, I think. Is there a reason you decided to live in Canada instead? We moved here when I was about 4 or 5, and then I moved back to England in my early 20s when my family moved back. I was only there for about 3 or 4 months. I just did not enjoy the weather, the lifestyle. I just like Canada better, so I just came back, and I was old enough to live on my own, so that's why. Brown says, have you ever been oogled by a gay person? Yes, I have. Paul says, this chat is shit. I wouldn't read anything from it. Good. Why don't you just fuck off then? Let's see here. Dan Juan. I can't seem to find the courage to drop out of school and pursue some sort of business venture. I'm 21 and want to get started sooner. I did a video on that on my channel. It's under the education playlist. Just go dig it up. It's huge, Gerald. If you love a girl and she loves you back but broke up because of young age, should I develop myself and seek her when I'm ready? Stop chasing him, Greg. there's a video coming out this week on what to do in your 20s. Check it out when it comes out. Stop chasing the women and focus on yourself. Do you think all women are hardwired crazy? Um, I've asked myself that sometimes, but no, they're not. A and alpha sign. I don't know what that is. Omega sign. Are you over the divorce, or are there days where you feel depressed? Yeah, I'm totally over it. Not never feel depressed anymore. I never feel depressed actually to begin with when I left. But yeah, gaming. How did you leave your wife without telling your kids? Because it's really hard. Book my time on Clarity if you want to talk about that. Yes, I'm 6'3". Would you rather do Katy Perry with 17 fingers or Rihanna? Two books that changed my life. Okay. I've been on this for 55 minutes. So let's try to wrap it up. Two books that have changed my life. Maximum Achievement by Brian Tracy. And again, I'm going to say Rollo Tomasi's Irrational Male. Uh, Investing setting up. What do I think of Trump? Give him a chance, guys. You know, he's only just started. Let him, let him do his thing. He's your, he's your president. Let him run the show and see what happens. Leonard says, where do you draw the line between going MGTOW in terms of focusing on where you're going and your goals and interesting and interacting with women for a varied social life? I'm not entirely clear on the question, Leonard. You're talking about MGTOW and then women at the same time. So MGTOW generally is not engaging deeply with women. Sorry for spamming. Manuel says, do you think there is merit in relationship with severely mentally disabled? I'm guessing you're talking about intergender relationships, so between opposite sex. Why would you want to, put up with somebody that's mentally disabled? I know it might sound cold and harsh, but if you've got your head checked right, why do you want to deal with somebody that's got, bipolar disorder or something like that? You don't need to put yourself through that. Dewey says low testosterone shots bad for a 48-year-old who is weightlifting. I wait till I do the interview with Ben Greenfield. We're going to be talking about testosterone and boosting it, so just hang out for that. Eric, any experience with narcissistic women? I just got out. Yeah, they're brutal. You have to try to spot it early and quickly. Uh, do, do, do. Gaming Hero, can you please read this? How do you tell your wife you're going to leave her without your kids hearing? Do it in a room when they're not in it, I suppose. Do you believe in love? Yes, everybody's going to be in love at some point. Marco, it's just how we operate as humans, right? What are your thoughts on transgender bathrooms? Don't even get me started. Go watch the stuff that Jordan B. Peterson puts out on his YouTube channel. Yes, I'm very thirsty, actually. I got to wrap this up. Got 2 more minutes here. I got to grab a drink. So, uh, yeah, that's right, GT. What do you, Greg says, what do you think about smoking weed for development long term? Don't smoke vape, and use it as a tool. Don't use it every single day and sit around and play video games and do nothing with your life. Is Down syndrome a no-go? Any kind of crazy mental disorder is a no-go. I don't have the time to deal with that nonsense. Okay, I'm going to do one last question and then wrap it up because it's been about an hour. Just going to randomly select one and Bugatti or Rolls-Royce? Bugatti. And on that note, I'm done. If you guys want to talk some more or have any detailed questions, you can find me on Clarity. The link is on the YouTube channel. You can book my time. Happy to chat and deep dive. Anything else, stay tuned for more videos. You can make content suggestions either on the Facebook page or email me. And I'm going to try to do these live chats for you guys at least once a month, maybe even twice. So we'll talk to you guys later. Hope you have an awesome night. Peace.